Welcome back for one final video on Algebra 2 class. Today, in this last video, we're going to be evaluating logarithms using both mental math and then also our calculator. So for these first few problems here, we're going to be using mental math, which means we're just going to be kind of thinking about what these logs mean and then using our knowledge of pretty much multiplication to figure out what the answer is. So we think about this first problem. We have log base 3 of 9. Now we know that log base 3 of 9 means our base is 3. Our exponent is the piece we don't know. That's the piece that is over on the other side of this part of the equation. So log base 3 of 9 is asking us 3 raised to what power gives us 9? So 3 to the x gives us 9. We don't know the x yet. Well, this one's relatively straightforward. We know that 3 squared equals 9. So this logarithm just evaluates to 2. Right? Because 3 squared gives us 9. Similar setup over here, right? Our base is 2, so we're saying 2 raised to what power gives us 32. Now, if you don't have this one memorized, you can always kind of count off the powers of 2, right? You have 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32, which means that this is 2 to the 5th. So 2 to the 5th equals 32, which means that log base 2 of 32 must just be 5. Last one up is another base of 2, and it's asking us, well, log base 2 of 1/4, which means 2 raised to what power equals 1/4. Now, you might initially think, well, how am I going to do a power of 2 to get a fraction? But remember, we can get fractions out of this by having negative exponents. Remember, if we have 2 raised, or any number really, raised to a negative exponent, it's the same as 1 over that number raised to the exponent. So in this case, I'm going to ask myself, well, 2 raised to what power will give me 4? And that is just 2. So this one must be 2 to the negative 2, because the 4 is in the denominator. Right? Another thing about this is 2 to the negative 2 is the same as 1 over 2 to the second power, which is just 1 over 4. So log base 2 of 1/4 must be negative 2. Moving on to solving or evaluating logs with our calculator, first I want to point out where this button is. The log button, whether you're on a TI-84 or a TI-83, is right next to the 7. It just is LOG. And it's also on some scientific calculators as well. The other thing you might have noticed on this slide is that my log here is missing the base. Right? There's no number there for the base of my log. And that's because there's one log in particular that's common enough that it actually just, we write it as log most of the time. And that is log base 10. This is also the one that gets just the generic log name because our number system is base 10. So log base 10 we often just write as log. So really what I'm answering here is log base 10 of 100, which remember is just asking us 10 to what power equals 100. Now you can do this one in your head, right? 10 squared is 100. But you can also do it on your calculator just by typing in log, right? Press the log button, and then log of 100, which will come out to 2. We can also solve ones that don't come out nicely in log base 10 using our calculator relatively easily, and we'll find another way to do this with other bases later, but for now let's just stick with 10. Log of 314, we can evaluate by typing in log of 314 on our calculator. And this comes out to about 2.497, which means that 10 to the 2.497 is about 300